Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So before we dive into it, if you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We're starting here with, first off, just the acknowledgement that Astro Bot has won Game of the Year 2024. I have to say, this was quite surprising to me. We know that it was nominated, but there was some, I would say, pretty fierce competition overall, and I honestly just didn't think that Astro Bot was going to be the one to walk away with the Game of the Year award. So, you know, huge shout out to Team Asobi. I think they absolutely deserve it. I think the game is incredible and very much worthy of Game of the Year. So PlayStation Studios walks away with yet another Game of the Year. But continuing to talk about PlayStation Studio titles, we have updates for Helldivers 2. So it turns out that the leaks we went over regarding Helldivers 2 were 100% accurate. They did announce the Omens of Tyranny update, which has caused a massive surge in player count for Helldivers 2 once again. The way in which they announced it was pretty awesome, but it also did drop the night of the Game Awards. But on top of that, Sony did announce a new special edition Helldivers 2 Dualsense, and it's going to be up for pre-order on December 20th, and it's going to be $85 US, and it is going to launch on February 6th, 2025. So really cool stuff there. It's great to see Helldivers 2 still getting strong support, and from what I've been hearing, this new update is actually, I think, the best one so far. People seem to be very happy with it, and it does add a pretty substantial amount of content. I haven't gotten around to playing it myself, but I'm planning on doing so very soon. So let me know if you're going back to Helldivers 2. Moving on from that, we're talking about Naughty Dog's new title, Galactic The Heretic Prophet. We're starting here with just some more details on the game being reported by Gaming Bolt. It says, at the Game Awards, Uncharted and Last of Us studio Naughty Dog revealed its first new IP in over a decade in the form of Galactic The Heretic Prophet, with a cinematic trailer offering a first look at its sci-fi universe and its bounty hunter protagonist. Accompanying the announcement, Naughty Dog has revealed further brief details on the title in an update published on the PlayStation blog by creative director and studio head Neil Druckmann. Galactic will see protagonist Jordan A. Munn stranded on Semperia, a remote planet that supposedly went dark hundreds of years ago, to the extent that anyone that has flown to it has never returned. Now Jordan must figure out a way to become the first person to escape from Semperia's orbit in 600 years. In an interview with the New York Times, Druckmann also revealed that the game is set in an alternate version of our universe, where space travel saw rapid advancements starting in 1986. It also won't surprise anyone who saw the trailer to find out that the game draws heavy inspiration from Akira and Cowboy Bebop. The story, according to Druckmann, is quite ambitious. Revolving on a fictitious religion, the game will focus on what happens when you put your faith in different institutions, according to Druckmann. Galactic will supposedly deliver an emotional, character-driven epic journey, according to Naughty Dog, while on the gameplay front, the studio promises, quote, the deepest gameplay in Naughty Dog's history, end quote, saying they're going to take their learnings from their previous franchises and push them beyond anything they've ever done before. So as of right now, there is no launch window for Galactic The Heretic Prophet. I would imagine at the earliest it's a 2026 game, but it could go beyond that. It is worth noting that it was confirmed by Neil Druckmann that this game has been in development since 2020, so it's entering nearly 5 years of development. It might be ready sooner than we think based on that. But yeah, obviously this is a game that I think has caught a lot of people by surprise. Some people are just surprised that it's a new IP. Some people are surprised the direction that Naughty Dog is choosing to go in here. But the thing I'm most interested in is what they're talking about from a gameplay perspective. It does seem like this game is going to have a heavy focus on melee combat. We know that that's something that definitely interested Naughty Dog for some time now, talking about how Bloodborne was inspiring them and their inspiration from games like Elden Ring. And they're saying it's going to be their deepest gameplay ever. definitely something I want to see more of. At the very end of the trailer they showed, it did tease gameplay, but it stopped short of actually showing us anything, I would say, consequential or meaningful. So that's something I'm going to be looking out for. It's also worth noting that in this interview with the New York Times, Neil Druckmann talked about how after the release of The Last of Us Part 2, the studio underwent a major restructuring to make sure that they are able to produce multiple games at the same time and become, as he calls it, an IP powerhouse. 250 people have been working on Intergalactic, and the studio has over 800 developers and employees in total. So, yeah, sounds like Naughty Dog has been working on a lot of things for quite some time now. We are going to move on to the next topic, which talks about a leak regarding Sony Bends' new IP. I did cover this in a stream, but I wanted to make sure to cover it in a video as well. Screenshots did leak out, but Sony did seemingly take these screenshots down. This was first reported by MP First, and it says an online portfolio of a UI designer who worked at Bend Studio from 2022 until March of 2024 basically revealed this information. Their name has been protected, but the portfolio shows that they were working on an unannounced Bend Studio project and had several images in their portfolio that were seemingly concepts from Bend Studio's project. These images have been uploaded to MP First, but again, they were taken down, and it showcases a military-style game with a futuristic sci-fi feel to it. Admittedly, the images don't reveal much other than some of the UI elements and weaponry that players would be able to access. There were some images of the overworld, but it wasn't fully developed yet, and they didn't really show off anything that could be seen as significant. Now, I do want to acknowledge here, this article says that it had a kind of futuristic sci-fi feel to it. I didn't get that impression. I did see these images. I think what they're really referring to is there is like a hint at nanotechnology being at play. So I wouldn't say it's like sci-fi as much as it's just maybe in the not too distant future when it comes to military technology. But the weapons that we did see are reflective of modern military. And we did see like a silhouette of what seemed to be like a soldier wearing some armor, and from what I could tell, it did seem like it was going for a more modern or just like near future feel. But yes, this leak does seem to confirm that Sony Bend's new game is going to be military based, and it's going to be a third-person military shooter. As we know, it is going to be live service. Some people seem to be surprised by this news, but it was revealed in a job listing a little while ago that this game is going to be live service. However, some people are hoping that there is still going to be a single player component to this. There could be. Bend Studio hasn't really acknowledged that directly, but yeah, it does seem like we are, after all, going to be getting a military-themed shooter from Sony. This obviously isn't SOCOM. It is a new intellectual property that was confirmed by Sony Bend, but this might be the closest thing to a SOCOM revival that we may end up getting from Sony. Now, obviously not everybody's thrilled about this, but you know, it's one of these things where I am interested in the military theme. I like third-person shooters, so I will definitely be paying attention to what this game is going to offer when it's officially revealed. Moving on to the next topic, we have another leak regarding a PlayStation studio, although this one is very simple, but just something that I think is worth mentioning here. Daniel RPK is revealing that a PlayStation exclusive game called Repeat is currently in development, and that's pretty much all he revealed. So there's not much to go off of here, but what people are thinking is that this may be the project name for Housemarque's new title. It does make sense when you think about Returnal, right? You hear the name Repeat, you kind of put those two together. Is this Housemarque's new game? I think it might be. Now, what can we gather from the word Repeat? I mean, is this actually going to be the name of the game? Probably not. It sounds like it's a project name. I imagine that it is Housemarque's title, and they are calling it Repeat because they want to repeat the success that they found with Returnal. Maybe not necessarily repeat the game in its entirety. It is worth noting that Housemarque is another PlayStation first-party studio that was confirmed to be working on a brand new original IP. They are not making Returnal 2. However, they are obviously going to take many of the systems and the gameplay design and mechanics that they implemented into Returnal and obviously use them in their new IP. But there you go. Not much to go off of, but thought it was worth just kind of throwing in here. And the final topic talks about something that has been highly requested for Black Myth Wukong, that being official PS5 Pro support. So the latest update for Black Myth Wukong does include PS5 Pro support, and this is what the patch notes say. PS5 Pro now supports PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR. By enabling it, you can achieve a high-definition visual experience by selecting either quality mode or balanced mode in the settings. The system supports 120Hz output when enabled in balanced mode. It maintains a stable 40 FPS output. If you encounter any visual anomalies, you can turn it off in the PS5 settings. Various scenes and boss fights have been optimized for better performance. The stability of frame rates and visual clarity in both balanced mode and quality mode have been enhanced. The input response speed has been improved in performance mode. So I obviously haven't tested this out myself, but for those of you who have, if you're playing Black Myth Wukong with the latest patch on the PS5 Pro, how has it been? Does it seem like it's a significant improvement? What type of differences are you noticing? Please let me know down in the comments below. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.